Oh, well, you know what's coming up, Bridge?
What?
My screenwriting class.
Oh! When does that start?
3 weeks?
Oh my God.
Is that math?
Wait.
1, 2, 3. Wait,
what are you going to write about?
3. Maybe it's 4. I don't know. I think they or I hope they kind of give us some prompts, in school. I kind of need that, I think. But I do have some ideas of things.
Are you going to show up as a completely new personality? Are you is this Katie the screenwriter? Are you
I
Katie
show
the
up with
podcaster?
glasses and a wig on.
I'm here for it. You know, an alter ego.
I'm going to need to feel the vibe when I get there because I don't know what I'm walking into. I do wonder if I'm going to walk into a room and I'm going to be the only person. And if I'm not the only person, I highly suspect I'm going to be the only woman.
Excuse me, that was only certain amount of spots. You're not going to be the only person. I think it's it sells out quickly.
Oh, okay.
I'm
definitely going to be the only lady.
Maybe.
And if I'm not, I will announce my wrongness when it happens.
What if there's hotties in the class?
That'd be cool. Are they not idiots? Because that's better. Yay.
I don't know, Kate. I'm just saying
that
would be fun. That would also be
That
fun.
would be a fun little meet cute, and then we both just keep secretly writing about each other and our assignments.
I love this. You know how Beyonce has Sasha Fierce, she gets on stage? Yeah. I think we should name your alternate persona as you write. Maybe you're a fierce writer.
I can't be Sasha Fierce. That's already taken.
That's true.
We'll workshop it.
Yeah. Sisters who screenwrite it?
Ooh. Trademark. Nobody take that.
Oh my God.
I'll update everyone when I start.
I love it. I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, sisters who've seen it.
Hello
there.
Welcome back, listeners.
How's it going? What's new? What's the latest? Have you been to Hawaii?
If you have, did you meet Kunu? And did you go surfing? Actually, fun fact.
Oh.
I know we're going to get to the movie in a second, but fun fact. Shout out my one best friend, Christine.
Oh.
She got married last year in May, and in her wedding card, which, obviously is to her and her now husband, I gave them advice for things to do in their Hawaii honeymoon, one of which was to get surf lessons with Kunu, and another was to not get beat up with a starfish or by a starfish.
That's awesome. Wow,
yeah.
Way to pull that one out.
Oh, I could pull a lot out of this movie. Very influential movie for me.
Kate, who are we?
Wow, yeah, let me introduce ourselves. All right, listeners. So, we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And oh my God, there's so many quotes. What can we do? You don't need to put your P in a V right now. That's the first one I saw.
Wow.
Wow, there's a billion more I could say, but boy, we gotta get into it.
I saw this movie a little different than when I watched it in 2008. Oh, what's the movie?
What's the movie? You tell me.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall, 2008. Woo! And it was requested by a listener, Doug. We will not expose your last name, even though you added it on there. We love you, Doug. So you know who you are.
Doug. That's from The Hangover. It's from The Hangover, y'all. Anywho, yeah.
Wow.
I feel like this movie's a little bit like 500 Days of Summer, depending on where you are in life.
Yes.
You may feel a little differently about it. I still love it.
If you get bitten by a shark, you're not going to just give up surfing, are you? Yeah, probably.
Bridge, I think it's your turn to do a synopsis.
No, as you would say.
Yes!
Taking a deep breath. Devastated over a bad breakup with his girlfriend, a struggling musician takes a trip to Hawaii only to encounter his former lover and her new man.
That's
that
the movie.
covers it.
It's a movie. It's pretty good.
So
wow.
this is based somewhat on a true story for Jason Segel's. He used to date Linda Cardellini.
Fucking love Linda Cardellini. Don't you dare
say
anything rude about her.
She's Sarah Marshall, so...
Yeah, but this was, I thought he based it off of a couple different ex-girlfriends, not just one.
Okay.
That's what I read.
Oh yeah, as well as 3 others. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, so he wrote this. He's a very interesting dude. Like, he's quirky and different. And so I feel like this movie has this lens of, in 2008, I think this was wild to meet a guy like this that's a little bit more sensitive.
Yeah.
Right? He showed a little bit more of his, like, feminine side. Let's say that. And
Sure.
they both work on what would be like a CSI crime show. And Sarah Marshall is played by Kristen Bell. And she is the famous, like, you know, actor in that show. And she's super popular and famous. And he does the music for the show. And it's basically... Dun, 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 dun.
It's just tones.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. So they have this 5-year relationship, and the movie right from the start is like she breaks up with him, and he's completely devastated and upset, trying to figure out how to get over her. We watch how he kind of slowly slips into depression, and he says, you know what? I'm going to go to Hawaii. He said, Sarah always talked about this place in Hawaii. I want to check it out. Well, the reason she talked about it is she went there too. And so they meet.
There. Yep.
She's there. He meets the person that she had been cheating on him with, who is played by Russell Brand. That is Aldous Snow. Are you from London?
You sound like you're from London. He's basically playing himself. That was a Moira Rose accent.
Wow.
Sorry, I was so sorry.
But he's not a musician in real life, right?
What does he do? Because, like, I don't think he got famous from acting.
Yeah, like, what does he do? Like, we don't know what he does.
I know he acts, but I do feel like he got famous doing something else, but I don't know what it was.
I don't know either. Wow.
He just, like, appeared in our lives in the late 2000s, so...
And now he just, like, pops up on on one of my TikToks talking about, like, the government and how to be better people. And I'm like, who are you?
What?
So he's hilarious because he is this famous rock star in the film, and he has this kind of like nonchalant attitude about being monogamous. And then you start to learn how it's not so great for her. Jason Segel meets Mila Kunis, who is the front desk worker.
She's a customer service dude.
Customer service, who her name is Rachel, right? Is that her name? No.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
And so then they start to hang out, and it's very this is a long movie. And so you have these like cameos we'll talk about who are really funny random people show up, and it's in Hawaii, so it's beautiful. And at the end, it's a rom-com. They package it together, all is well, and we need to talk about the specifics of that ending because I have some questions, but that's why we're here, Kate. What do you think?
I love it. Good one, Bridge.
Thanks. Ooh. I'm ready.
All right. Well, I personally soups enjoy how the movie's like, okay, we need to end with forgetting, so we're gonna start with we break up. Because if they tried to start off with like, yeah, everything's great, I think I would have been annoyed. And it would have been longer.
It's so long. How long was this movie?
It's really not that long, Bridge. It's like less than 2 hours.
I don't know why it felt so long.
It might have been because you had your own forgetting Sarah Marshall forgetting moment, but we're not going to get into that because the listeners don't need to know the behind the scenes.
You know what, listeners? I'll fess up. I forgot one movie, and I was prepared to podcast with Katie, and the movie I forgot is Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and we had to reschedule our podcast. You know, sometimes you're professional, sometimes you're not, Doug. I'm sorry, but I'm here and I'm ready.
We're here now. So we meet Peter, which is Jason Segel, and he's kind of just hanging at his apartment, his home. The place is messy. He's by himself. He's just kind of futzing around, whatever. And then he gets a call from Sarah, and she's like, yeah, I'm coming home. And he's like, oh, so soon. Okay. So then you see LOL. Now he's cleaning up everything. And you're like, that's so silly. I know. I was kind of like, yeah, I can relate. I get it. And, well, this is a real awkward breakup scene because he's naked.
Okay.
Can't say I've ever had that experience personally.
There's a lot happening. First of all, the entire movie starts out with him with his shirt off, looking in a mirror, cold open, Kate, and flexing his boobs. And then he goes, "Good job, Peter."
It's good for you.
I go, well, this sets the tone for the whole movie. And then I feel like the whole, like, him coming out in the towel and being shocked and surprised. In capital letters, I just wrote penis shot. Because it's still jarring. Because 2023, you're still not seeing a lot of shots like that. And I read that his mom came to watch the film and he didn't tell her, and she was pissed at him because she's like, "Why am I looking at your penis?" And then she sent an email to all his friends and family and was like, "Warning, Jason didn't tell me about this, but I want to let you know this happened."
She's like, "This movie needs a censor bar."
Can you imagine Maureen? Can you imagine? She would write in the sky like, "Warning."
Yeah. I am grateful, though, that we did not see the penis during the part where he did, like, a helicopter dick. This is just a PSA for anyone, specifically the dudes. Don't do that. Like, ever.
I don't ever want to see it, like, flung.
Nobody asked for that. Thank you.
I don't understand. Like, we tolerate it. It's there. It has a purpose. No,
I mean that.
Like
well, that, but not the
spinning
helicopter.
it. Don't, like, spin it, flick it around. It's weird.
No toy. Stop it.
I feel like, though, when you see it, you're just like, whoa, like, whoa, 2008, blah, blah, blah. And
yeah, it is very unnecessary.
Kristen Bell is so cavalier about the whole thing. She's like, "Peter." Like, she just, like, isn't reacting at all. And just, you could just tell she doesn't want to be, like, touched by him. And he's like, "Hug me, honey." Okay.
It's a lot.
I feel like, so Kate, I feel like in, like, breakup moments, it kind of goes down like this. Like, the one person has been preparing for a long time to break up. And then the other person is, like, totally shocked. Even though if they paid attention, maybe they wouldn't be.
500 Days Summer. Yeah.
And then that person that it, like, receives the breakup is like, whoa, sit down. Wait, we gotta talk about it. And then he says, "I know what's gonna happen. If I put my pants on, that's it. That's it. It's over."
That's so funny.
Oh my god.
But he flat out asked her, he's like, "Who's the dude?"
Yeah.
And at first she's like, there's no one. And this is a little preview for Sarah Marshall maybe not being as put together as, you know, we think she is. And then eventually she's like, "Just kidding, there's someone else. Deuces!" And then she runs away from him.
Wow.
And his helicopter dick. So, yep. That's that on that.
Wow.
But then we meet Bill Hader, and the movie immediately gets elevated 1,000 points.
Okay, Bill Hader has a very interesting personality in this movie. Because I think it was like, he wasn't as famous at the time as, like, I think he is now. And now he's calmer, and he's, like, a little, I think, more, like, silly and fun. He seemed angry the whole movie. And he came off, like, really in character. And I just kept thinking, like, where's Barry? You know? Where's the Bill Hader I know?
Where's the assassin?
Where's the
murdering people
killer?
in the cars?
My God.
I think I have a lot of bias for this movie, and I love his character lots.
Wow, you really love this movie.
Yes. Wow. I said, Bill Hader, thank God you're here. And then he literally does all the good ideas, by the way. He's like, "Listen, you should work on the Dracula musical." And then Peter's like, "No, that's stupid." And he's like, "Listen, you don't need to have sex with a bunch of random women." And then Peter's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have sex with everyone." And then he's like, "Listen, you should delete all your photos because you're never getting back together." And he's like, "Yeah." And then he's like, "Hey, you shouldn't go to Hawaii, the place that Sarah told you to." And then Peter does it anyway. So that's my thesis on why Bill Hader is the best character.
He's a great friend, and I think it's hilarious, his relationship with his wife, how they're like besties.
Oh my God. She's always secretly like in the background of the video chat. I'm like, is this right now?
We got to talk about this because for our family listening, specifically cousins, we have an aunt and uncle that does this. That whenever you're on the phone with one of them, the other one's listening on the other line. You know who you are. You know who you are. And it's hilarious. Can you imagine if you called me and every time James was just like right next to me?
It just like comes into the Zoom.
So
And then you two get off
Ockies.
track because you make silly backgrounds, and I'm like, focus, please. Oh, God.
Oh my God. Wait,
Oh,
the
man.
Dracula, I read that he pitched that to Judd Apatow. The actual, like, Dracula thing. And Judd Apatow
Ooh.
he goes, please don't ever show this to anyone. It's awful. In real life.
Rude!
And so they made a joke during this movie, like, imagine if we put that in. And he was like, yes, put that in.
Put in how I made fun of you.
Yeah.
I would go see that. I would buy tickets and go see that on Broadway.
I would absolutely go see that on Broadway. I don't know why it's not happening right now.
I'm not sure. I'd even settle for off-Broadway, but it needs to be something, okay? With Bill Hader in the cast. All right, I'm done. I'm done. Anywho.
So Peter goes through this phase where he's like, I'm just going to have one night stands. And we watch a bunch, Yeah. 2008.
Yeah.
2008.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Making fun of women a lot.
Making fun of women, but also, let's just call what it is. Guys don't get laid this easy. I'm sorry.
No.
When you look like Jason Segel, who, you're good looking, but you're not like freaking Brad Pitt, okay? And like, thinking you're gonna go out and immediately get like one night stands and stuff, I'm like, I don't know.
And this was pre-Tinder, y'all.
Yes!
So that's even harder.
In person.
That's why Bill Hader's like, we don't hang out at places like this. Smells like a stripper's perfume.
Oh my God. And he goes, I feel like I'm getting herpes just from the couch.
Then Peter goes to a pediatrician and is like, I'm worried about having STD. And he makes the guy look at his dick. And he goes, it's a good looking dick, Peter. And I was like, Jason Segel, do you want to talk about it?
Okay.
Because there's got a lot of penis references.
Okay. Let's pause on it. He's like a split personality. On the one hand, a lot of penis stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like leaning into like Louis territory that's freaking me out. Like, do we not know what's happening? But then on the other hand, he's like asking for consent.
Yeah.
He's listening to his feelings. He's like showing a more emotional side for men back then. And I couldn't figure out where the fuck he lived. What lane is he in?
I think he's lost. I don't think he knows.
He's doing a New Jersey circle. We don't know where he's getting
in
off.
the jug handle. Oh, God. But essentially all these scenes is like, in its own way, showing Peter he's got some depression going on. He's not doing well at work. He's struggling. Again, Bill Hader's like, I'm gonna fucking step in because I'm the MVP. And this is where they talk about, where he's like, why don't you go on vacation? Like, get away, just by yourself and whatever. And you go somewhere. And yeah, Peter's like, gotta go to Hawaii. That makes sense. It doesn't make any sense, Peter. Stupid. I mean, it is very beautiful though.
But
this movie is really like on that level of, if I want to feel like I'm on vacation, I'm gonna watch either this or Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar.
Oh, Barb and Star. How have we not done that yet, Kate?
Oh,
Barb
not
and
yet.
Star?
There's still time.
Oh, a woman named Sheila. I mean, or what's the name they picked?
It was
Deborah?
It was the one that Reba plays. Is that what you're thinking of?
All right. Anyway, so wait, I want to talk about two things. Anytime you have been the best friend and watched your best friend break up with someone, there are like the two stages. The one stage is they only have good memories. Everything.
Yeah.
Like he was like, this is the cereal container because
and now I have the freshest cereal.
She was amazing because she bought me a cereal container. And then the other stage with your best friend is when they start to let it slip that they actually hated who you were dating.
Yes.
Like, they very slowly are like, because they want to cheer you up. They're like, like they weren't that great, but they're testing the waters because you could get back together with that person. It's like a little nerve wracking. And I felt like Bill Hader did it perfect. He was like, she's not that great or something. And then Peter made fun of Liz and he was like, oh, hold on. And then he like rips him apart for making fun of
I have no qualms with sticking you.
So I liked that because it felt honest. I was like,
yeah,
I have so many experiences like this with like, as the best friend.
Yeah.
And you're like, go away, take a
true.
break, get on vacation. Cause like, you're not really doing your job well and you're pretty depressed and it looks bad in here.
Well, and the whole point of the vacation was to not think about Sarah Marshall and get away from Sarah Marshall. And then as we quickly find, he is now on vacation with Sarah Marshall.
But he actually didn't plan it. So that was just like a weird, like, I think the movie would have been annoying if he like secretly found out she was there.
Ooh, that would have been creepy. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be creepy? But like, it just was it was a surprise.
What blew my fucking mind is he just rolls up to this like resort, no reservation.
None.
Honey, where you gonna sleep if they're booked? And they were fucking booked, so that's great.
To be a single white dude just walking around, walking around, and then you get the penthouse. 2008 was wild.
I mean, you know,
Doug,
it is a little
Doug, you better
bullshit.
not roll up to a Hawaii hotel without a reservation.
Yeah, no, that's not how this usually goes. And then he, you know, he sees Sarah and she's like, Peter, what the fuck? And he goes, I came here to murder you. And it's awkward.
God.
And then he quickly sees Aldous Snow, who said, I lost a shoe here. It's like this one's fellow. You seen it? You seen this shoe? I do just want to point out, because I'm going to be annoying this whole recording. I'm already annoying. I'm going to be more annoying. I do just want to point out, in college, sophomore year, when I lived with 3 of my other friends, one I am not really friends with anymore, but the other 2 I'm still good friends with, we paid money to a artist to paint us a beer pong table, and the theme was a Monopoly board, but we called it Slopopoly, and each square was a different movie quote, and I think we used a lot of quotes from this movie.
Okay, where's that picture? Pull that beer pong table picture and post that on
awesome.
Instagram. That sounds amazing.
I don't even know how much money we paid for
someone? That's amazing.
I don't know. We literally went to a random party to meet this girl who was like a senior art major at the time that like I think I knew through someone else. And I was like, hey, we heard you paint beer pong tables. And she was like, yeah. We're like, okay, cool. We want one.
That is the most 2008 story I've ever heard, and I love it.
Well, it wasn't exactly in 2008, but it was shortly after, so
wow.
Yeah. Okay, so sorry. Anyway, that's me.
Real quick, Aldous Snow. So, Jason Segel, Judd Apatow, Russell Brand comes in, and apparently this is like the theme now that I'm realizing. He was very like nonchalant about the audition. He was like, hey mate, I saw this movie and don't know that much about it, and just thought I'd be a good character. And they had a totally different vision for this person. They were like gonna have like more of like a super rich, uppity, like Ken doll like person. And then they said he was so funny in the audition. They were like, we'll just make a whole character that's literally Russell Brand.
Well, I was gonna say, I feel like he just played himself in this movie.
I mean,
he's himself.
Katie?
Well, we know.
Katie?
We know. Jason Segel helicopter dicks. We know it.
So Mila Kunis is checking him in and watching this like sad experience of him realizing he's here with his ex-girlfriend. His ex-girlfriend is super famous, is now also cheating on him, or now they're, she's together with another super famous person.
Yeah.
And then Mila Kunis is like, I just got broke up with. I feel your pain. And she just gives him the penthouse.
And she fucking like does that in front of another worker. And I was like, is that cool to do? Does that cost anyone money? Okay, bye.
Mila Kunis, why aren't you staying there? My God.
Girl, come on.
I would just hit that up every now and then, we just want a penthouse.
Yeah.
Wow.
But she ends up being basically right next door, essentially, to them. So that's cool. And this is really like the whole theme of a lot of the beginning part of his vacation is, everywhere he goes, they're there and it's Aukies. And it hurts me.
The only thing I'm going to challenge on the Russell Brand Aldous Snow, I do not think he would be like good to have sex with. I just feel like how grody would somebody like him be? Katy Perry, what were you thinking? Orlando Bloom is an absolute upgrade.
Yes.
Kate, we quickly meet my absolute, so you love Bill Hader. My absolute favorite character in this movie is Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
He is so good. And I just kept being like, every time he came in the scene, stole it. He's so good. He was so good.
It just went from 6 to midnight.
I just wrote, Jonah Hill, he sells weed at work. Like, he plays the same person. This is so funny.
This part where Peter, like, tries to go to dinner by himself, and Jonah Hill's like, I feel bad. You're, like, all alone. You want a magazine or something? I'm like, the cringe is real. But now in the day and age of smartphones, nobody bothers you with
I was
that.
just gonna say,
shame.
have you ever gone out to eat by yourself?
Yeah.
I love it. And if someone had the audacity to ask me if I wanted a magazine, I'd be like, what? Let me be in peace with my bread.
Well, Peter has an awkward encounter, and then he decides to get drunk at the bar because you're on vacation. Whoop, whoop. A lot of great lines. I'll restrain myself unless you want me to quote the whole thing.
Go for it.
I'm Samantha. I have sex with everyone. That's my favorite Sex in the City, not Sex in the City quote.
Do you know there's a secret person in this scene?
Isn't it Cynthia Nixon in the background? It's so random.
Why is Miranda
understand.
in Hawaii in this scene?
She's probably avoiding Steve.
Oh my god, she's like,
and just
Steve,
like that.
I need space and I'm dating everyone.
It's like, your fucking ice cream sucks.
I cannot. But another random person shows up that we haven't properly talked about, and I kept writing in my notes, Kenneth from 30 Rock, who is played by Jack McBrayer. I mean, how funny is him and his wife that have the worst sexual chemistry, and he doesn't know how to have sex with her, and he's so mad about it, and it's so funny.
He might be the one that I quote the most, and I realize I just said a quote from him. She's like, I can't feel anything. And he's like, well, it's in there. And he's like, because it hurts me. And I'm like, wow, I say that, I think, once a day. Thank you, Kenneth. Damn.
Oh, now,
there's
if anyone knew what you were referencing, Kate. Ew.
Well, I don't need to talk about that part. I just like the line bridge. Damn. Honestly, all of the characters that get screen time, I think, are so funny.
Yeah, the only thing annoying with anything Judd Apatow is like, you're like, where are the women that are also funny? And I feel like it took him a while, but eventually his movies got better at that. Because it's usually like 80% dudes, but they were funny dudes. I'll give it to him. It was pretty funny. Because then Paul Rudd shows up.
Oh my god. Kunu. When life gives you lemons, just say fuck the lemons and bail.
That's an amazing quote.
Every line he says, I'm like, this is iconic.
I just love that Jason Segel's talking to him and he's like, I don't wear a watch, man. I don't know what time it is. and he was like, oh, that's like so, he's like, wow, that's so cool. He's like, yeah, man, it's on my phone. So I just look at my phone. He's like, oh, so you know what time it is. And he was like, it's on my phone. I was like, this is what I imagine somebody who has beach brain. Like, they've just been fried. I'm
like, I know this dude, actually.
Oh, man.
I think I went on a couple dates with him once. Oh, dear. PPOP. Oh, God, I can't.
Oh, my God.
So, eventually, more awkwardness, shenanigans, whatever. Peter gets to a point where he's like, you know what? I want to ask Rachel to hang out. He's like, to him, he's like, I want to ask her a date, but whatever, it'll be a hangout. And she's like, she's kind of annoying for some of this, in my opinion, because she's kind of like, I'm the cool girl who, like, I don't expect commitment. And I'm like, okay, we could just be normal people with normal words, but fine. So she's like, yeah, totally, let's go hang out. Like, don't make it weird, Peter. Ha! And I'm like, you made it weird. Okay. They go hang out. Rachel has a bitch fit on the beach. This was like a Kardashians, Real Housewives bitch fit drama bridge. I bet you were into this part. And it's for their ex-boyfriend. And then they run away to a bar with boobs on the bedroom wall, and I hate it. So
wow, you went from 0 to 5,000 with that
scene. Went
to
6 to midnight with that one, didn't I?
With that one. Your point on her being a cool girl. What I was thinking, I thought about a couple things. One, if a guest asked me out and I work at a place, I'd be like, leave me alone. But then I also thought about our old vacation place.
Our experience.
Woodlock.
I was going to say, with our vacation
all the
place
freaking dudes that worked there, everyone
time.
Hooks up with them. And then you're thinking to yourself, they're just hooking up with different people each week. Shout out to Woodlock Pines if anyone knows that place. Okay, I said it. I'll say it again. Bunch of loose woke
They
workers.
literally had a game where they were auctioning off one of their staff members to go on dates with some. Didn't you?
I
almost
won.
The 1 year?
I almost won, but I was like upset because I went with the tactic of like being weird and funny so that people would vote for me. But then just like the pretty girl won.
Yeah, even though it was.
I mean, I'm beautiful, but they didn't think I sounded beautiful because I used like a weird voice to be funny. And it didn't work. I just feel like the one scene where the dude's like, she's in customer service, she's being nice, you idiot. I liked that because she was. I don't know. It was like she was trying to be the opposite of Kristen Bell, who was uppity and like needed a lot of support and attention, and he was second, where Mila Kunis was like, oh, we're even. But there just wasn't enough women in this film.
Yeah, that part where she's like, I'll go get a beer, and he's like, I'll get it, and she's like, God, Peter, you don't have to dote on me, I'm an independent woman. And I was like, what? If some guy wanted to buy a beer, be like, fuck yeah, go get 20 of them. Damn. Like, but that doesn't mean I'm like independent. This is so 2000s. I can't.
Yeah, like she could have been like, no, I'll get it, it's no big deal, versus like, I'm not the kind of guy.
Yeah, like making it right. Like, we gotta make it weird. Like, chill out, girl. It's right.
Also, wait, real quick. What's with the one scene where she just speaks Japanese out of nowhere?
Oh, I don't know.
So this fits. Well, that's what I mean by this. Like, this fits this cool girl. Like, she's got mystery. She's got surprises. She speaks Japanese. You know, you're just like, what? And yet, she also has a picture of her boobs in a bathroom, and she's like, yeah, man, I just had like a bad night, and they won't take it down. Like, I'm like, what? No, like, get the police involved. I don't know. Well,
she said her ex-boyfriend like encouraged her to do it, and I was like, that's worse. That's a worse backstory. It's also worse that it's up there without your consent.
Yeah.
This is like printed out porn on the wall, and nobody, did you sign anything? Oh God, hate it. But then Peter gets peer pressured to sing about Dracula. It is.
Jason, if you're listening to this podcast,
Jason, hello,
which
welcome.
Maybe you are, welcome.
Welcome.
Please make this Dracula puppet show, because I am such a huge Jim Henson fan. Oh, God, it would be so good.
And if I see Van Helsing, I swear to the Lord, I will slay him. Oh my God, it's so good.
He's like, I am getting better all the time. It's so
I like
funny.
Distinctly remember the first time seeing this scene, and it's just like dying. And I was like, this isn't a major motion picture.
Yes.
What is going on? This is awesome.
I watched an interview where Jason Segel goes, yeah, after I met Judd Apatow, whatever, at some point he said to me, you're a weird dude, and the only way you're gonna like be successful is to write your own stuff. And like, this is a perfect movie, because he wrote this. I'm like, yeah, you're like super weird, but it holds up.
Yeah. All right. So Peter tries to kiss Rachel when they leave, and she's like, no, I'm too cool. And then he's like, ooh, weird. And then he goes and gets drunk at the bar, which is what you should do on vacation. And this is where they discuss a very important line, which is, I saw him beat up a man with a starfish. And Peter's like, there's no way. And then Kunu goes, that man was me. And it's just the most amazing line that's ever been written. So thank you very much, Jason Segel. Thank you for that. Well, and then shortly after, it gets like real serious, because Sarah gets a call that her fucking like primetime TV show is canceled. What? What even?
I felt that was pretty dramatic and
pretty abrupt. Yeah.
I also thought, well, I guess Jason lost a job too, but I didn't know if he got a break because work's like, oh, he lost it, he gets a break, or he like quit his job. So I didn't know how much he cared. I was confused.
It seemed like he didn't care at all, because there's a scene then where he runs into her, and then she tells him, and then all he really does is like talk about her and how she's feeling. He's like, how you doing?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be okay? And I was like, what about you, Peter? Look in a mirror for once. God.
Wow.
So they kind of like have some bonding. And then I think that is the point where then Sarah starts to like miss him, or at least the movie shows it in that way. Because when she tells Aldous Snow that their show gets canceled, he goes, that's perfect. You can come on tour with me now. And she's like, what? What do you mean a tour? And he's like, going on some fucking world tour, some shit he didn't tell her.
He's like, wow. 2 weeks, babe. 18 months, 400 countries. And she's like, what were you going to tell me? He's like, right now. And she's like, well,
I just did. Yeah.
What? The other thing I think we're missing is like weaving in and out of this movie is just Jonah Hill trying to like sell his like demo tape Aldous Snow. And also, like,
shows up in the middle of their important conversation with like fucking cake and some shit. I can't. This is cake from the hotel. Definitely not for me. It's from the hotel.
and then simultaneously, there's like so many sex raunchy jokes. Like,
oh yeah,
like they just talk about like sea turtles having sex for 3 hours. Like, I all in my notes, I kept being like, this entire movie is about sex.
Yeah,
endless sex talk.
Aldous Snow teaches Kenneth how to have sex by humping giant chess pieces on the public beach. It's all normal, everyone. All right, don't question it.
Yeah.
So there is an awkward part, which I hate. We have some girl-on-girl drama, where Sarah basically goes to Rachel and is like eyeing her up and sizing her up because she saw that they were hanging out. And then she's like, you're like really pretty. And I'm like, no, mean girls, no, not grown women doing it. Ugh.
On Wednesdays, we wear pink.
But, you know, it's a male writer, so
yeah.
On Wednesdays, we wear pink, Rachel.
And it gets weird when they go to dinner together. Because then they really, like, admit their hatred for each other, and then they just sling insults. And that was a little Kardashian.
Sure was, Bridge.
Here's what was also interesting, is simultaneously Peter comes to Hawaii, he's very depressed, right? And so you just see him drinking all day. And then he meets Rachel and he starts to get better. He's getting over Sarah. He starts to drink less. You see a montage of him like going down the slide and making friends with like people at the resort. And in my mind, I was like, didn't he come for like 4 days? Because it seems like he's been here for like 3 weeks. Like he just
I don't know what the timeline was.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It just was never ending.
I'm like, he's not paying for anything. He has no bill. Is he living in Hawaii now?
Yeah, that's a fucking sweet God damn it, Jason Segel. This is like a freaking like fantasy write-out movie. Okay, all right.
And I also want to say, if I work at a hotel and then I start dating a guest and then the guest says, I'd like to take you out to dinner at your place of work.
Hate it!
No way in hell would I go to that dinner.
I know, I thought the same thing.
Awful.
I was like, girl, don't shit where you eat. Girl! Oh
Exactly.
Literally. There is a really important part. I'm just gonna rewind a little. Woo woo woo. They do go surfing one more time because Peter has his own personal goals that he's working towards, one of which is to actually surf.
Yes.
And then him and Aldous Snow talk, and this is where he finds out that Sarah was cheating on Peter for about a year. And then we get the famous quote, "You sound like you're from London." From Kuno. The last time I said that to someone, they literally go, I am from London. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
You're like,
and then I was like, I'm not sorry. I mean, it's a great place. I've never been. Oh God, I gotta go. Bye.
I've had too much to drink. I'm leaving.
Oh God, this is the first birthday party. I gotta leave. Okay.
Oh my Lord. This is when, because Peter passes out because of the blood from Aldous Snow's coral infection, and then Sarah tries to comfort him. This is an awkward scene, Kate. He, I guess, feels comforted, and then so she kisses him because
That's not this part. This is the part where she tells him that she was like super depressed and that's why she left him and cheated on him. But they don't kiss.
Oh, this scene was important because I feel like Kristen Bell crushed it. Mm-hmm. I didn't like her this whole time because she is like an annoying character. This scene, she's raw and you feel bad for her.
I feel a little bad, but then I also think to myself, well, this is a classic case of you didn't communicate with your partner about these problems. So that's super cool. You're working on yourself. But if it's a problem with another person, like you have to talk to them. And she never did. So her blaming him pissed me off a little bit. And I was like, for all we fucking know, Peter might have just generic depression. It's not all about you, Sarah. Maybe he's just depressed without you and like you're just not helping. And like I didn't like that because she again was like doing a lot of blaming on him. And I'm like, but you never talked to him. So you go cheat? No, that's a no for me.
The cheating ruins supporting her, but I felt her pain in this scene. And since she was the person to break up with him in the beginning, you never experienced that the whole movie.
Right.
So she has feelings.
She's allowed to have feelings. We can feel what we want to feel, but sometimes you gotta talk about what you're feeling. That's all I'm gonna say. Good night. Okay. All right, so the only thing I want to say about this awkward dinner scene, apart from it being very awkward, is they have a conversation about how Sarah Marshall was in a movie about a killer cell phone. And apparently, without knowing this,
yes,
like this was written in the script without knowing ahead of time that Kristen Bell had been in a movie with this exact concept. It was a remake of a Japanese horror movie called Pulse. I have seen it. It's a little spoopy. And it's more like the ghosts kill you through technology. It's not like a phone kills you like they talk about, but like, wow. Part of me was like, why didn't you change that, Jason Segel? Like, because it really feels like we're making fun of Kristen Bell, like the actress at this moment. It's so weird, but we did it anyway. Yeah.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
The other, I mean, I honestly am like, phones do kill people. Like, it's just like the social media, the pressure, the depression, the things we don't know affects children later.
Yeah. And this was pre-smartphone.
You were naive, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Thinking you could just take out a battery. What happens when they don't allow you to do that anymore? Huh?
That's right.
You can't take out a battery 2023.
When the phones become sentient. Yeah.
Okay.
What are you going to do
then?
then?
The phones get on your watch, and then you're in the metaverse. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, not the metaverse.
6 degrees
all right,
to the metaverse.
So
all right.
This terrible dinner leads to terrible competing sex.
Oof.
It is a horny movie. So sorry.
So gross.
And then thank God Sarah and Aldous fucking break up, and you're like, good. This is a good move for everybody, honestly. But then this is where Peter goes to comfort her, and they make out.
Got it. I'm following. I'm there.
Yeah.
And but this is a weird scene. They make out, then they try to have sex, but he can't, perform, so to speak.
His dick is too sad.
She tries.
It's all about his dick, Bridge. Remember, that's the thesis of the movie.
Oh my God. She tries everything. It was uncomfortable to watch.
So I think I said this when we were talking in the last episode, like announcing this movie, but this movie used to be played a lot on like the E! Network channel, which obviously is cable. So they would be like a totally different version. And in this scene, it was changed where instead of like he couldn't get hard, it was instead a scene where he like is going to like pull her pants down and he sees like a tattoo, and he's like, what is that tattoo you have? And she's like, oh, it means like blue in like this language. And then that's what he like freaks out about, and he's like, you have a fucking Aldous Snow tattoo, this bullshit. And then that's like when he runs away, and you're like, well, those are very different.
Very different.
Like,
wow,
this one kind of hits a little more home that like, yeah, sometimes you just can't go back to how things were, people, 'Tis life. So,
and
off we go.
Since this whole movie is about his penis, he screams, my penis doesn't want to be around you. You're the goddamn devil, and runs out of the room.
Goddamn devil. Wedding in Hawaii. Real original. Yes.
But to his credit, he immediately goes to Rachel, aka Mila Kunis, tells the story. That. I love that. Yeah. Tells the story. Yeah. She hates him for it because, duh. He got props. This is the schizo or whatever, the split personality side of him, where I'm like, hey, that was like so nice of you to do that. And it holds up in 2023. She didn't. Yeah. She still was like, goodbye, get out of my life. And then he was like, okay, I'll listen. And he really did. He left.
He left after he did get her boob picture.
Oh, that's right.
Which was another, him being like, I care about you. Here's your boobs. And then she's like, whoa.
Yeah.
But then, he left. So I like this part of the movie, even though it's, we're getting to the end, whatever. But I kind of do like how they focus on him by himself, like getting his shit together. Because I was like, yes, I don't want the message to be we can only get better with another person. Like, that can't be the message. And it wasn't the message. Like, it really was him, I think just reprioritizing his life, maybe a little bit because of the other person, got him kickstarted. But like, you see him, he's taking care of himself. He's like keeping his apartment clean. He gets a new job. And then he does the Dracula musical, which I want to see.
I want to go to
Broadway.
Why can't we be there?
I want to go.
Wait, What We Do in the Shadows as puppets with Jason Segel singing. Can you imagine Guillermo as a puppet?
I was just gonna say, I wouldn't mind if he was like the only human and everyone else is a puppet, because I think that would be amazing too. I can see it now. It's awesome.
Van Helsing, I shall slay you.
I shall slay him.
Bill Hader is the best bestie cheerleader in the audience.
No, Bill Hader's in the show, Bridge.
Oh my god, I was like, why did my
Liz
notes
was
say
the
that?
cheerleader.
Liz was the cheerleader. That's right.
Yes.
Bill Hader was crazy in the show.
Yes.
I wrote, Bill Hader is insane. That was my notes. Wow, I
He
swear
was.
I saw this movie. Katie, just when we think the movie is done being about penises, what do we end with? We end with another full frontal shot.
I didn't ask for it.
Why?
Who voted for that? Hello?
What is happening?
And then Mila Kunis appropriately laughs at him. And I was like, that is a good response to that. And then he's like, stop laughing. And I'm like, no. Keep laughing. Keep it up, girl.
I have some questions.
They need to learn somehow, okay?
Yeah, we need to laugh at more men. Yes. I have some questions. Peter is living where?
I think LA.
Okay, Peter's in LA. He sends an invite to his Dracula show to someone in Hawaii and says, I'd love for you to come. That's a plane ride.
Yeah, it's like,
that's
Friday.
That's a plane ride to see some dude that, like, you knew for 4 days, and she did it. And I thought, rom-coms, come on.
Well,
Today's
she does.
version would be a text. Good luck at your show.
Yeah, it'd be like, I'll zoom in, whatever the live stream. There is a part where she kind of like says, well, I'm also looking at schools over here. And you're like, girl, okay.
No, you're not.
Do you think if they got together that they stayed together? Because I feel like it'd be like a 1 year max and then they're done.
How are you supposed to continue to be the cool girl when you're not in Hawaii giving penthouse rooms?
How are you going to be the Hawaii Kardashian on the beach when there's no beach?
I don't think she would keep his cereal fresh by buying containers. She would equally be eating out of giant metal bowls like him. They're too similar.
It's just, I don't think it's gonna work.
I think she's more of like a free spirit air sign, and I think he's an earth sign.
Kunu. I think her and Kunu.
Definitely.
I mean, you know.
And no one should date Russell Brand.
No. No, they shouldn't.
And I almost want to say no one should date Jonah Hill, but I would love for Forgetting Sarah Marshall 2, where Jonah Hill has like a Liz, and he has the love of his life. How cute would that be?
That'd be cute.
Wow, but here we are. Two penises and every sex joke known to man.
I hate it. Bridge, would you watch or don't watch?
I liked your comment. I'd watch it if I want to go on vacation.
If you need a vacay in your brain.
Watch it or don't watch it.
I'm watching it, and I will be quoting it. So if you are like, I don't like when people do that, then get out of my house, all right? Because
why are you in Katie's
we're at my house. Because we're there, because that's where it's happening. So get the fuck out.
We have to give a huge shout out to Doug. We need to tell Doug. Because Doug, I wouldn't be watching this movie if it wasn't for you. I wouldn't be thinking about the warm sunshine rays, the sand in my toes. God, the smell of salt water. Go! You know?
You okay? Oh, I can see it now. Yes, thank you, Doug. Thank you very much. He was our listener pick. But Bridge, I got our next pick. Woo! And next week's episode will be our nostalgic happy hour, which means we will be doing something that is not as nostalgic. And well, listeners, if you're a true listener of Sisters Who've Seen It, that hopefully means that you are a true follower of our social media, because we have those. We've got Insta, Twitter, we're on Facebook too. And that's it for now. But we did have a very recent movie event taking place. And boy howdy, if you followed us on Twitter, you were getting blown up tweets, because I am going to recommend that next week for our nostalgic happy hour, we discuss the 95th Oscars or Academy Awards, whatever, same thing.
Everywhere,
very unique.
Everything, all at
once. Hot dog fingers. And everyone's like,
Jamie
what the
Lee
hell?
Curtis. Wow.
Woo! Oh, yeah. Yeah, baby.
Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna go through it.
I think this will be interesting. It's not a
Little
normal
different.
movie. We get to talk about lots of movies. We get to talk about who won, who got snubbed, who should have won, who didn't get slapped, who was good, who wasn't, you know? The dresses, the outfits.
I will be bringing up, because I know I tweeted, or I think I was just texting you about this, how though there was that one Academy Awards where all the random people were brought in, they thought it was a tour, and some lady got a fucking kiss on the cheek from Ryan Gosling. The funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. And I really want that to be like a normal segment for the Academy Awards, but you know, it's fine. So that will be discussed, even though I just discussed it. So be ready, okay?
Wow.
We'll be discussing Disney and their corporate greed and how they want to control the airspace. Even though they don't really need to.
It's turning into the Super Bowl.
I'm scared. Yep. Soon we're going to...
The phone
we
is
kind of do have halftime
you.
shows
The phone is going to murder you. And Kristen Bell warned us in 2008. And no one took her seriously. And it's Russell Brand's fault.
Oh, God. Oh, it's so fucking real. I can't. Oh, my God. Oh, well.
We did it.
Bridge.
Yeah.
If... I don't want to do one about you breaking up because I hate that. So I'm going to say, Bridge, if you came up with a musical about what we do in the shadows and you wrote it and composed it, but you were like, I just don't know if it's good enough. Judd Apatow is a little bitch. He told me it sucks. I would start a GoFundMe page, tweet the shit out of everybody. I get all the key players involved, and I would get that shit made for you because I love you.
Wow.
And it's a brilliant idea. Yeah.
I have no comeback.
Okay, cool.
Besides, I do the same.
Wow.
And I promise to make sure our Broadway debut will happen. Guillermo will come. Everything will be fine. Bill Hader will be a part of it. That's all I got.
You literally froze right at the start of that. So I heard you, but your face was frozen.
Wow,
but I heard it all. And it was
when you
amazing.
edit this, you're going to have a whole new podcast episode to listen to.
Gotta be something.
Technology.
They're trying to kill us. And listeners, if you also love this Dracula musical and you want to watch it in real time, and if you think that swirling your dick around is too much, do less. That's important. Remember that. And if you think that Jonah Hill is really funny in this movie, as is Paul Rudd, as is Bill Hader, as is Jason Segel,
Jonah Hill,
everybody in Aldous Snow, you should write us a review. We love reviews.
Love them.
We love written reviews.
We do.
You can review us on Apple Podcasts, along with some other podcasting apps. We also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. On our website, you can request a movie. So this movie, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, was requested by Doug. He went on the website, filled out the form, and look what happened. We did it!
Doug, I think you should leave us a review because I want to know how we did. Thank you. Good night.
And only make it a 5-star review or else I will find you.
We want honesty, Kate. Stop bullying them.
Not a threat. I just want you to think about your choices. Okay. And Bridge, what else can they do on the website?
They can buy us coffee, which is money, and that money can go to our Hawaii vacation where we hang with the crew.
Yes!
And if you're thinking, wait a second, I don't want to do that, you could buy merchandise. And I feel like just putting a Hawaiian shirt on there because after this movie, there were so many Hawaiian shirts, I want to go wear one. Maybe you could go buy that. Check out our merchandise.
I do love Sir Tommy Bahama. Oh, take my eye, but not the shirt.
That was really good.
Yeah, I love this.
Yeah,
yes,
check
listeners,
it out.
So check all that out, and we hope to hear from you. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week for the Oscars. Dun, dun, dun. There's no theme song for that,
it's
is
like,
there? What is that?
No, that's
just
Jurassic
like
Park.
flowy.
I don't know.
Oh, I mean, that is a great song. We could just listen to that if we want. John Williams was at this Oscar ceremony, but he didn't win.
He was nominated, didn't win. If you didn't see the Oscars, can't wait. We'll talk about it next week. See you next week. Bye-bye.
See you then. Bye-bye. Love you.
Bye-bye. I love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
When life hands you lemons, just say fuck the lemons and bail.
The lemons and bail. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.